Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we'll continue with the April 2025 mock paper revision. So today I'll take you through the multiple choice question section. And that's section 1, which always have 20 marks. Yeah, and this is a critical area as a student of business data analytics. Because you have the 20 marks under this section, just like the other questions on section 2 and section 3. Yeah, this is an area that you must have knowledge on the theoretical part of business data analytics. Yeah, so you are able to test you on various areas, as this will prepare you well even as you prepare for your paper in the next 7 days, 6 days today. Yeah, in the next 6 days. So I'll read the question. So before I go straight to the question, so maybe I'll read the instructions. Yeah, because this is basically what we'll get on business data analytics paper. So this paper was done on Monday, 14th April 2025, and it was an evening paper for my students. Yeah, this paper is examined to my students who are part and parcel of my lessons throughout the semester. Yeah, and the August intake is ongoing. So please reach me through my number on the YouTube bio so that we can start the classes as early as possible, so that we finish the syllabus on time, so that you have the time to revise even as you prepare for this mock before you sit for the main exam. Yeah, and our rates are manageable. Yeah, we charge only 6,000 per semester per student. So reach out to me and I'll be able to prepare you well for business data analytics, and you'll be able to pass this paper on your first attempt. Yeah, maybe if you are not able to pass on your first attempt, then I can assure you that you'll be able to pass on your second attempt. So without much ado, let me just read the instructions. Yeah, because instructions are part of exams. Yeah, so I've said that the section 1 has 20 multiple choice questions, each carrying 1 mark. Section 2 has 3 practical questions, each carrying 20 marks. Yeah, and under section 2, the 3 questions originate from financial management, financial reporting and analysis, and the management accounting. Yeah, so that's always a total of 20 marks. So it's 60 marks, and those 3 questions are compulsory. Section 3 has 2 practical questions, each carrying 20 marks. Yeah, so for section 3, the 2 questions, you choose either one. Yeah, you only choose one question under section 3, and that question always come from where? From audit and public finance and taxation. Yeah, according to your syllabus. Yeah. So I'll go straight away to section 1. It's 20 marks. So answer all questions in this section. Yeah. So make sure that you answer the question, all question in section 1. So question 1, the cross-industry process for data mining, also known as the CRIPS, consists of 6 phases. Yeah, so it consists of 6 phases. Yeah, so as a student, it's upon you now to know, those 6 phases and what they entails. So the 6 phases. So what does evaluation stage entails? Yeah, so the examiner is just asking you, what does evaluation means when it comes to cross-industry process for data mining? So A, preparation of data for analysis. Yeah, preparation of data analysis, that's the data preparation stage, So validating predictive models. Yeah, so that's the modeling stage. Yeah, that's the modeling stage. Then part C is testing the model on a validation data sets. Yeah, so evaluation stage in the among the 6 phases of cross-industry process for data mining entails testing the model on a validation data set. So the correct answer here was C. So part D was integration of the model into business. So that's the implementation part. Yeah, so that's not the evaluation stage. So the evaluation stage involves testing the model on a validation data set. So that was the correct answer. That was the correct answer. So in this question, you have to know the 6 stages, the 6 phases of cross-industry process for data mining and what they entails. Yeah. So question 2, you have been employed as a business data analyst in a hospital environment where you are tasked with determining the number of patients in the intensive care unit, ICU, high dependency unit, HDU, and general ward, GM. Which function will you use to return the position of a value in a specified range to determine patients in ICU? Yeah, so they are asking you the function which you will use to return the position of value in a specified range. Yeah, so that's what the examiner requested of you. Yeah, so A is VLOOKUP. No, the VLOOKUP is not used to determine, to return the position of value in a specified range. The B was match. B was match. Yeah, so the correct answer there was match. Yeah, match is whereby you use match to return the position of value in a specified range. So the correct answer here was match. So we have index also. So you will go read about index and the H lookup. So H lookup and V lookup is exactly the opposite of each other. So the correct answer here was B, match. Match. So here I was testing your knowledge on the functions, yeah, whether you have read through the functions, yeah, functions in business data analytics. Question 3, which of the following shortcut keys will be appropriate for selecting an entire worksheet in Excel? Yeah, to select an entire worksheet like this in Excel. So which is the correct shortcut keys? So it's Control plus A. Yeah, and that Control plus A is the correct answer. So Control plus space, C Shift plus space, D Control plus W. Yeah, so that was, I just put that there to confuse you. So these are the questions that you don't have to miss marks on. Yeah, and they don't miss in business data analytics paper. Yeah, the shortcut keys in Excel. Yeah, so you go back and read more about the various shortcut keys in Excel. So question 4, conceptual, logical, and physical models are different levels of modeling. What does logical model entails? Yeah. So here we'll be able to define what logical model is. So A is the business requirements and scope of the system. Business requirement and scope of the system. So business requirement scope of the system, that's the conceptual, yeah? That's from part of the conceptual model. Then B, it represents the business requirements. Yeah, you can see there's also another aspect of business requirement. So it represents the business requirements in terms of entities and relationship. Yeah. So the difference between conceptual and logical is that for conceptual, it entails only the business requirements and scope of the system. While when it comes to logical, the logical represents the business requirements in terms of entities and relationship. Yeah. So defining the business schema, that's fall under the physical model. Then D, details on how the data is stored physically. That's automatically falls under the physical model, because the physical modeling is where now we store data physically and have the access to that data. So the correct answer was B, is that the logical model entails, yeah, it represents the business requirements in terms of entities and relationship. That was the correct answer. So question 5. Question 5, we'll go to question 5. The following statements relate to the formula for computing the standard deviation in Microsoft Excel, MS Excel. Roman 1, we have standard deviation of S. So that means the standard deviation of a sample, the standard deviation of a sample. So computes, it says computes the standard deviation of an entire sample. So this is the standard deviation of a sample. Yeah, so sample always, one thing you have to note with this question is that for samples are always those, the units below 30. Yeah, if you have been a student of statistics, then you know that you only find a sample if the number you are carrying out a statistic evaluation on is below 30. Anything greater than 30, you use the population. Yeah, so if it is standard deviation, then if it exceeded 30, then that's now turn out to be a population. So anything below 30 is what you sample. Yeah, so standard deviation of a sample is compute the standard deviation of an entire sample. Yeah, that statement is correct. That statement is correct. So number 2, standard deviation of population, Roman 2, computes the standard deviation of an entire sample. So it can't be correct because already it's the standard deviation of a population. Then Roman 3 is variance of a sample. So computes the standard deviation of entire sample. Yeah, so you see, I gave everything under, I put everything to be the computation of standard deviation. So I was testing your knowledge on whether you know that there's a difference between a sample, population, standard deviation of a sample, or standard deviation of population, or variance of a sample. Yeah, or yeah. So that I was testing your knowledge on that. So which of the following choices is correct? So the choice which is correct is statement 1. Yeah, this one. Yeah. So just come and pick statement 1 is correct. These other ones are not correct. So C was the correct answer. C was the correct answer. So I'll go to question 6. Which of the following components does not fall within the realms of volume in big data? So what I was asking you is that which of these items does not represent volume as an item of big data? You know, we have the 5 V's of big data. So I was asking you, which of this component does not fall within the realm of volume? Yeah. So volume is being determined about when megabytes. Yeah, megabytes. Yeah, represent volume. Yeah, because volume is all about megabytes, gingabytes, the terabytes, the everything to do with volume. So in this question, I was testing your knowledge. Which one does not fall within the realm of volume in big data? So the one which does not fall within the realm of big data is the Mbps. Mbps falls under the velocity, the speed. Yeah, the speed. Yeah, so that's fall under velocity. Yeah. So this was an easy pick. So you just come and take Mbps because these other ones, the megabytes, the gigabytes, and the terabytes falls under, sorry for that, falls under the volume. Yeah, and that's how we test you on these questions. Yeah, that's how the examiners play around with your mind. Yeah, and these are multiple choice questions. So I always tell my students that you have to read. Yeah, you have to read the notes under, yeah, and you don't have to struggle cramming, yeah? Just read to understand, and you'll have an easy work when it comes to this section, because this section will make you pass BDA very easily, because you score around 15, then for the remaining 80, you just have to look for 35, because the first pass mark is 50. Yeah, so when you are good in theory and you can score above 15, then you are good to go. Yeah, so if you are good in theory and you're also good in the in the practical part, on the Excel part of those other questions, then you'll be able to get an award. Yeah, you will be awarded for passing in flying colors. So I'll go to question 7. The following statements relate to the definition of the types of data analytics. Yeah, so this is also an area that will never miss in any business data analytics paper. Yeah, it will not miss even in a paper which you will be sitting for next week. So it's an area that we also have to go through. So the following statements relate to the definition of the types of data analytics. Yeah, so we have different data analytics. We have the descriptive analytics, prescriptive, the predictive, yeah, there are four. There's predictive, descriptive, prescriptive, and there's one. Yeah, there's another one. There are four. Huh? Yeah, so which one of the following is the correct answer? Yeah, so we are told that under Roman 1, descriptive analytics provide historical data and information. Yeah, so for you to answer this question, you have to know what descriptive analytics is all about. Then 2, prescriptive analytics provide data and information for decision making. Predictive analytics provide data and information to explain deviation from expected. So which of the following is the correct answer? So A, only statement 1 is correct. Only statement 1 is correct. So what does statement 1 say? Statement 1 says that descriptive analytics provide historical data and information. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, it's true that descriptive analytics provide historical data and information. But is that statement, yeah? I've said only statement 1 is correct. So it is true that I'll go with only statement 1 is correct. Yeah, it is correct, but it's not only statement 1 which is correct. So let us go to B. Only statement 2 is correct. So what does statement 2 say? Is that prescriptive analytics provide data and information for decision making. Yeah, when you're doing prescriptive analytics, you provide data for decision making. Yeah, so that's also true. But is it that only statement 2 is correct? No, because even because even we have realized that even statement 1 is correct. Yeah. So C, only statement 3 is correct. So what does statement 3 say? Predictive analytics provide data and information to explain deviation from expected. That's not true. Yeah, that's not true. That's not what predictive analytics is. Predictive analytics rely on historical data for future decision making. Yeah, for future decision making. Yeah, so that statement 3 was not correct. So anywhere you get statement 3, you eliminate it. And also, we'll eliminate even A and B because we have realized that statement 1 and 2 is correct. So you can't say only statement 1 or only statement 2 is correct. So D, only statement 1 and 2 are correct. Yeah, that's true because only 1 and 2 are correct. Yeah. So for you to answer that question, you should have read more about the difference, the different types of data analytics. Yeah. Question 8. Question 8. Which one of the following represents relational tool in data visualization? Yeah, so we have different tools. Yeah, we have distribution, relational, composition, comparison tools. Yeah, so it's upon you as a student to know the examples of relational, distribution, or those other items. So this is what you do. So which is the answer? So bar charts. Bar charts always represent the distribution. Bubble charts represent also distribution, and to an extent also when it comes to comparison to an extent. Then see scatter chart. Scatter chart represent relational. Yeah, so relational means that the relationship mostly between an independent and dependent variable. So scatter charts, I think you have done it, whereby you plot the graph, then you join those areas that appear within a line, you join them with a straight line. So that's relational. Yeah. So the correct answer here was scatter chart. D, stacked bar chart, that's distribution. That's for under distribution. So the correct answer here, I was testing your knowledge on whether you know the relational tools, the distribution, the comparison, and the composition tools. So this is an area also you have to read through. Question 9. Question 9. Continue. Question 9. Continue. Ms. Rail Kemunto is the Chief Finance Officer of Zuia Umaskini Limited. She is using data analytics in estimating future risks that the company is facing and also sales forecasting with scenario analysis. Full stop. By carrying out risk management and sales forecasting, she's applying what? Yeah, she's applying what? So yeah, they've said that yeah, by carrying out risk management. So predictive analytics for risk management and sales forecasting. Yeah. So is yeah, you just have to understand what these types of analytics are, because predictive analytics, we use the historical data. We use the historical data to make a future decision. So what is risk management? Can you use as a CEO, as a chief finance officer, can Rael Kemunto use historical data to mitigate risk? Yeah, because risk management is all about risk mitigation. So is that right? Is that right? Yeah, so risk management is a prescriptive analytics. Yeah, so risk management is a prescriptive analytics. Yeah, for you to manage risk, you have to use the prescriptive model. So it's a prescriptive analytics. Yeah. While for sales forecasting, the word forecast, sales forecasting is predictive. So in part A of this question, the answer, predictive analytics for risk management and sales forecasting. No, because it's only sales forecasting that we use the predictive analytics. Because we are doing the forecast. Yeah, but for risk management, it's a prescriptive analytics. It is a prescriptive analytics. Yeah, so that disqualifies A, even though sales forecasting is predictive. Yeah, but risk management is prescriptive. So you can't use a predictive analytics for both. Part B is predictive analytics for risk management and sales. Sorry. Predictive analytics for risk management and prescriptive analytics for sales forecasting. Yeah, we have said that sales forecasting is predictive, so it's not prescriptive. So that's even disqualify this. And I've said also risk management is prescriptive. So they interchange. Yeah, for part B, the examiner interchange the questions. Yeah, just to confuse you. See, predictive analytics for sales forecasting, that's very correct, and prescriptive analytics for risk management. Yeah. So risk management, we have said that it's a prescriptive analytics. Yeah. You caution yourself against risk. So it's a prescriptive analytics. So the correct answer was C. So I'll just go to D, prescriptive analytics for risk management and sales forecasting. No, we say that sales forecasting is predictive. Yeah. So this disqualifies D. So the correct answer was C. Yeah, and this question, you have to read the notes, but you also have to, yeah, you have to think across the question. Yeah, you have to think of what is prescriptive, what is predictive, what is descriptive. Yeah, and what is also descriptive also. Yeah, descriptive is what was missing there. So question 10, I'll go to question 10. Data analytics can be analyzed at 4 levels. Number 1, what happened? 2, what could happen? Yeah, what could happen? 3, what should happen? Number 4, why it happened. So which of the following is the alternate description of level 2? So level 2, what does level 2 say? What could happen? What could happen? What could happen? So is it predictive? A. B, descriptive. B, descriptive. C, diagnostic. And D, prescriptive. Yeah. So what could happen is predictive. Yeah. Predictive. What could happen? You predict what could happen. As simple as such. Uh, uh, what could happen? So what happened is what? Descriptive. Yeah. Number 1, what happened? So you are able to describe what happened. So it is descriptive. Yeah. What should happen, number 3. So that falls under what should happen. What should we do? What should happen? So that's what should happen is prescriptive. Then why it happened is the diagnostic. Yeah, you diagnose. Even if you have a malaria, you'll go and say, I'm having, maybe I'm vomiting. Yeah, so then they will be diagnosed with malaria. So why it happened? Why it happened? Why did you get the malaria? Because maybe you didn't sleep under a treated mosquito net. Yeah. So you just have to understand. So the correct answer here of what could happen is predictive. What could happen? You predict what could happen. So that's predictive. Number 11, question 11. The following activities are included in the cross-industry standard process for data mining. Yeah, so these are the 6 phases. So we have data preparation, data understanding, data deployment, business understanding, data evaluation, and data modeling. So which of the following is the proper sequence of this activity? So it means that on the cross-industry standard process for data mining, what is the order of these phases from the start to the end? Yeah. So in such question, I'll advise you as a student, in such question, first you have to know these phases and you have to know the orders. So the easiest one to know is always the last one. Yeah, so the last one is always the data deployment because you do everything, then you deploy data. Yeah, and as a student and you want to pass your exams, once you know that data deployment, yeah, you can confuse these others, but data deployment is the last one. So you just come and check, yeah, where do we have 3? So we have 3 only in D as the last one. Yeah, so as a good student, you'll be able to, you don't even struggle and you mark that, yeah, because it doesn't complete. So if you have like 3 at the end for maybe 2 or 3 answers, yeah, then you go back and start eliminating. Yeah, so always the first phase is always business understanding. And as a student, you have to understand what does business understanding involves when it comes to data mining. Yeah, you have to have that knowledge. Yeah? Then number 2, the second phase is always after business understanding, it's always the data understanding. So once you have understood the data, then you prepare that data. So 3 is always data preparation. Then after data preparation, we have data modeling. So after you model the data, then you evaluate that data evaluation. Then finally, it's the deployment. So the correct answer here will be D. The correct answer here will be D. Correct answer there will be D. So we go to question 12. Question 12, let me read it. Data cleaning, also known as data cleansing, is the process of identifying and removing errors. What does data enrichment entails as a step in data cleansing? Yeah, so what do you do? Yeah, what do you do when you are doing what you call data enrichment? So the word enrichment should guide you. Yeah, as a good student of English, you'll know what enrichment is. So A, adding additional data to improve the quality and accuracy of the existing data. Yeah, so that's automatically means enrichment. You are adding additional data to improve the quality. Enrichment is all about quality and accuracy of the existing data. So if I was you, I will not even go through those other answers. Yeah, I just pick this as the correct answer. Then what was B saying? Analyzing data to identify patterns and trends for potential errors. Yeah, that's not enrichment. Yeah, that's not enrichment. Number C, verifying the accuracy and completeness of data. That's not data enrichment. Yeah, that's what we call data understanding. Part D, converting data into a standardized format to ensure consistency and comparability. That now you are not enriching the data, but you are formatting the data. Yeah, so that's not the right answer. Yeah, so the right answer here is that when you are doing enrichment in data, you are adding additional data to improve the quality and accuracy of the existing data. Question 13. Which of the following is a data cleaning tool? At this point in time, you should be able to list all the data cleaning tools, data management tools, and the data visualization tools, and you have to know them and what they mean and their definition. So here we are talking about data cleaning tool. Yeah, so those data cleaning tools. So A, MongoDB. MongoDB is not a data cleaning tool. MongoDB is a data management tool. B, Cassandra. Cassandra is not a data cleaning tool. Falls under management. C, Trifactor. Trifactor is a data cleaning tool. Yeah, so Trifactor, or some people call it Trifactor. Yeah, so the correct answer here was Trifactor data cleaning tool. So for you to answer this question, my students, you should be able to know, to differentiate between data cleaning tools, data management, and data visualization tool, because those are the only tools that are within your business data analytics syllabus. Yeah. So the part D, D is the MicroStrategy. That is a data visualization tool. Yeah, MicroStrategy is a data visualization tool. Yeah, so the correct answer here was Trifactor as a data cleaning tool. So we go to question 14. Question 14. And I'll read the question. Reporting and visualization are crucial for presenting data in a way that is easy to understand. Sorry, I think I didn't type this correctly, but it's easy to understand. Where do you classify column charts? Yeah, so we go back to, to those visualization tools. Yeah, so A, column charts. I think everybody knows column charts. So A, we have relationship. Relationship column charts does not fall within the relationship. Yeah, B, distribution. No, they don't form part of distribution. Compositions, no. I think you know those charts under composition, like the pie chart. Then D is the comparison. The column charts is all about comparison. You compare. Yeah, if you have a column chart of revenue for the first 6 months, that's January to February, sorry, January to June, you will be able to compare revenue in January and February through column charts. You will do a presentation of a column chart. So that's a comparison. So you compare between revenue incomes in January and June, or February and March, that way. So column charts are always comparison tools. Yeah, they're comparison tools. So the correct answer was D in this case. Yeah, you can see how I'm analyzing this question. Yeah, so that's the mind. Yeah, after you have read the notes, I've told you that you don't have to cram the notes. Yeah, just read those theory notes and understand. Then sit in for the paper. Yeah, you will score over 15. Yeah, and that will be a very big boost for you to pass your paper. Yeah, so you have to reason with this question. So number 15, question 15, sorry. Which of the following describes the process of moving inactive data to a separate long-term storage system for preservation? So here also, I think I was in a hurry. That was system, yeah, for preservation. So A, data saving. So is data saving a process of moving inactive data to a separate long-term storage system for preservation? No, 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 that's not the definition. Data wrangling. Yeah, data wrangling is like, data wrangling is all about fishing the data, yeah? Fishing the data. So it can't be moving inactive data. So data archiving is the correct answer. So when you're doing what we call data archiving is where you move, it's the process of moving inactive data to a separate long-term storage system for preservation. Yeah, for preservation. So it's data archiving. Data conversion is all about changing data, yeah, from one format to another. So it can't be moving inactive data to a separate long-term storage system. So the correct answer is data archiving. Yeah, data archiving is the correct answer. Question 16. Based on the principles in the unified ethical frame for big data analytics, which of the following applies to the principle of privacy? Yeah. So what I'm just asking you, what does privacy entails when it comes to data management? Yeah. Simple as such. So A, protecting and respecting the confidentiality of personal data. Yeah, that's all about privacy. Is that to protect and respect the confidentiality of personal data. Yeah, that's the correct answer. That's the correct answer. Then B, what did B say? Transparency and inclusivity of data. Now let's talk about the transparency of them. Yeah, of data. Yeah, so that not involve anything to do with privacy. Then C, thinking through the potential impacts of our data use on all. No. D, making sure that data is accurate. Yeah, that's not privacy. So privacy is all about protecting and respecting the confidentiality of personal data. So you'll go to your notes and read all through the principles of unified ethical frame for big data analytics. That's an area that your examiner, CASNEB, likes to test. Yeah, they will test you even on your sitting. So go and read more about privacy, transparency. What does it mean? What does it entails? Okay, so we go to question 17. Which of the following correctly defines distribution as a data visualization technique? So what do we mean by distribution? Yeah, they can ask you what do we mean by distribution, comparison, composition. Yeah, so in this question, we're talking about distribution. So A, the method of graphical representation of data. So if I was you as a student, I won't even look at this A twice because the graphical, everything, all those visualization tools, whether it's distribution, they are graphs. Yeah. So distribution, you eliminate this completely. You eliminate that completely. So we go to B, the understanding how data is arranged, and often different values occur. Yeah, the understanding of how data is arranged. Yeah, I think that's close to distribution. Yeah, so the correct answer will be B, the understanding how data is arranged and often data, how often different values occur. How often different values occur. So that's what defines distribution in data visualization. But see, the method of presenting a part to all the relationship of data and information. So what is this? This composition. Yeah, because you are able to present a part to all relationship of data and information. So that's comparison. Then D, the method that shows the relationships and connections between data and information. So that's relationship. Yeah, that's fall under relationship. Yeah, so the correct answer was B. Distribution entails the understanding of how data is arranged and how often different values occur. That's the distribution. Question 18. Which one of the following V's of big data involves extracting meaningful insights and actionable knowledge for decision making? Yeah, so you extract meaningful insights. Yeah, so is it value? Yeah, it's true. It's value. Yeah, because value is when value is when you extract information for decision making. Yeah, so in this question, you have to know the 5 V's of big data and what they are. Yeah, what they are. So the correct answer here was value A. Value A. Question 19. Oh, let me go through B. Validity is not one of the 5 V's of big data. Yeah, so I just put it here to confuse you. Then C, veracity, that's okay. Then volume. Yeah, and volume. So question 19, bubble charts are critical visualization tools used to link each dot to a single data point. Bubble charts falls under which visualization category? Yeah. So this is an area, you see, I've tested it 3 times in this paper. Yeah. So you must be sensitive. Yeah. Why I've tested it for 3 times. So be sensitive. So bubble charts are critical visualization tool. So I'm just asking, where does bubble charts fall? So bubble charts are relationship. Yeah, those are relational tools. Yeah, so relationship. Question 20, the last question. What does encryption entails as an aspect of data security? Yeah, data security, there's what we call encryption. So what is encryption as far as data security is concerned? So A, controlling who has access to data by ensuring that only authorized individuals can access and modify data. No, that's not encryption. Yeah, that's the creation of password. Yeah. Then B, use of mathematical algorithms to convert data into a format that is unreadable without a decryption key. That's the correct word definition of encryption. Yeah, you use mathematical algorithms to convert data into a format that is unreadable without a decryption key. Mostly computer science students and IT students, they do what we call encryption. Yeah, you see, even the software engineering, they can be working on your laptop, but you can't understand anything. You can't even read the words. That's what you call the encryption. So you use a mathematical algorithms to convert data into a format that is unreadable without a decryption key. Yeah, this is the correct definition of encryption. Then C, use of software tools and process to track and log access to data and identify suspicious activity. No. Regular backups of data for future use in case of cyber attack. No, that's not encryption. Yeah, so that's how you are supposed to unload section 1 of this paper, and you get your full mark. So I know at the end of this video, this part must be a wake-up call to you. Yeah, maybe you know now your position where you fall. Yeah, whether you have been studying your notes correctly, because many students goes for part 2 and 3 and forget about theory. Yeah, they just read it and pass away. So this is a section that you can sit for the paper and come out thinking that you have answered everything correctly, only to be disappointed. So I advise you, my students, that you take your time, read the notes that I shared with you, and you will know have no problem at all getting 15. Yeah, when you get over 15 in this section, you are good to go. I told you you'll get that. You only need 35 the other side. Yeah, so you get 40 the other side by just doing 2 questions. Already you are past the 50 marks, and that's how you pass your business data analytics. So for those who are watching this video for the first time, take a minute to subscribe to my channel. Let us get to 1,000 subscribers. Like the video, share so that it can reach many people, yeah, who are struggling passing this paper. And my August intake is ongoing, so I urge those who are watching this to contact me through my contacts on the bio. We have classes always from Tuesdays to Thursday. So we have 3 classes per week, and that's enable us, and those are 2 hours classes, which enable us to complete this syllabus a month before your exams. Yeah, that will enable you to prepare well for that 1 month and even sit for this mock. Yeah, which I always set it specifically for my students who are my online students. So join my institute, and I can assure you that you will be able to pass your exam. So I am doing this video on Good Friday. So to the Christians all over the world and within the Republic, happy Easter holidays. Thank you so much, and have a blessed evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you so much.